What's up, everybody? My name is Brad Mortensen, and today you are listening to the Rookie on Fire podcast, episode number 1. So what's nice about this podcast is we are going to be bringing on amazing guests who have been in sales for anywhere from 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years, and they are going to be giving back to you, the listener, the things that they would change if they could go back to their rookie year. So the whole mission behind this podcast is to help people that are at various levels of sales, whether you are a rookie or you're at year 5 or year 10, learn from those that have gone before you and learn from their successes, but also learn from their failures on the things that you could change to up-level your family life, your work life, the type of investments that you're doing, whatever it may be, because these people are going to give their feedback and there's no structure to it. They're going to give the 1 or 2 things that they would change if they could go back to their rookie year. And so these guests have been vetted. These will be people that I've met, my friends. These will be people that are willing to give back, not just on this podcast, but if you want to reach out to them, DM them, I'll make sure that they're willing to reach out and to respond so that you can get more out of, these mentors that are going to be on this podcast. So on today's episode, I wanted to start with my 2 things that I would change if I could go back to my rookie year. I started in door-to-door sales in 2010 selling pest control. And there's a lot I learned, a lot I loved. I ended up doing it for 12 years and it was amazing. I love sales. I love entrepreneurship because the failure rate is so high and it challenges people to step up and to give their best and to adapt and change and become the best version of themselves. And so it's led me to this podcast where I want to help speed up that process through learning from these mentors. And so for me, number 1 is the work-life priorities. I don't really believe in balance between work and life just because it's just not set up to be perfectly balanced. But there are different boundaries or priorities you should set within your life. And for me, I learned this way too late. But it's, when you're at work, give it everything you have, go all in, and then shut it off when you go home. When you first walk in your door, go kiss your wife, go say hi to your spouse, say what's up to your kids, like spend that first 20, 30 minutes with them of high intensity. And that's where your focus and your priorities should be during that time. For me, it's changed my life. It's literally been 2 years since I started doing this. And I look forward to those moments where I get to walk through the door and be dad and be a husband and just to a higher level, because it's different then that during different times of the day. When they're getting ready for school, it's not as exciting when you walk through the door and you haven't seen them for 10 hours. And so, it's something that if you're younger, you may not realize. You may think like, well, I've got to hustle and I've got to grind and I've got to push through and I've got to work. But I truly believe that if you have a good family life at home, when you leave, you're going to be able to do more at work. And if you know that you only have a certain amount of time to hustle and go make things happen, you're going to do more with that time. And then when you go home, you're going to give more to your family. And those should be 2 totally separate things. And I'll say it's one of the hardest things that I had to learn to do, because you think that by you working 24/7, you're doing it for your family. And even though you are, so that you can have a better future, if you get to the future point, you get 20 years down the road and you don't have a family to go to Hawaii with because you burned them out during the journey, it's going to be lonely. And so my challenge to you is to really separate that, figure out how you're going to do that. But a quick, easy win is to get home, leave your phone in your car, go spend that first 30 minutes with your family. If you're one of those guys that's doing this right now where you're just working 24/7 and you can't stop from bringing those work thoughts into your home. And number 2 for me would be investments, how I invested my money. I spent a lot of time working over, those 12 years in door-to-door, made really good money. But then I would take the extra money I had and go put it into investments. So I bought some real estate. I did some stocks. I did some invested into a few companies, some tech companies and things like that. And if I were to go back, I would just focus on real estate. I realized that my time, kind of alluding back to number 1, like I don't have a lot of time outside of work and family. And so I wanted investments that were more hands-off. And with real estate, you're buying an asset. And so even if the market goes up or down, the asset's still yours. And as long as you can make those payments or have renters that are making those payments, you're good. If a tech company bombs out, the one I invested in totally bombed out, my money went to zero and I lost the whole thing. So real estate for me checked the 2 boxes, that I have something I can put money into that I don't have to manage. And I still own, number 2 is that I own the asset. At the end of the day, like it's secure and there's tax benefits and a million other reasons why I think real estate is really good for salespeople. But it can create that passive income and that secondary income with those extra commissions that you have. And there's always things competing. There's NFTs that popped up a few years ago that were crazy, and now they're all just like dead. There's crypto. There's a bunch of things that are probably good. I think if you look at any really successful person, they have some type of real estate portfolio tied to their name. And it's because it's secure and it's always going to go up in value. And there's just a lot of other wins to it. So those are the 1 or 2 things that I would change if I could go back. I'm looking forward to interviewing all of these amazing guests that are going to be on the podcast for them to share their 1 or 2 things that they would change to hopefully impact you, the listener, so that you can get the most out of your journey in sales. So I look forward to bringing them on, and we'll see you on episode number 2. Have a great day, guys. Peace.